Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on a Tuesday morning. We're going to be joined shortly by Tim and Rob, a couple of really good internal wholesalers from EquiTrust. They got some great information they'll be sharing with us this morning on kind of the trends we're looking at moving into 2024. I know here at IMES we've had a record year in 2023, best interest rates we've seen in over 2 decades, really fueled the fire for annuity sales. We saw a ton of MYGA business coming in this year based on rates up in the 5s and 6% range. That is starting to cool off as rates do start to go backwards a bit. So we'll see how that trend does continue into 2024. I know the Fed has announced they're going to be reducing rates next year, so that will fuel some rate decreases on our side. But right now we are still looking very strong. I know EquiTrust has been holding their rates very high, and really a very strong combination of products they do offer through EquiTrust right now. But once again, thanks for joining us here on a Tuesday morning. Appreciate you going to spend us about half an hour, 40 minutes with us this morning. We'll try to keep it a little bit shorter and try to get you back in the field. But we've been seeing a great year this year overall on production. I know we've done a lot of new producer bonuses to agents that are brand new to IMES this year. We've been seeing a lot of production coming in, both on indexed and fixed rate annuities. We have multiple levels you can qualify for, anywhere from $100,000 up to $1 million. There are levels that have different perks based on each level attained, anywhere from cash, seminar systems, retirement boss radio, different video programs, a lot of good stuff you can qualify for. If you're into taking trips, we've got a great Ritz-Carlton stay at any Ritz-Carlton in the continental US, a great combination there. We also have different gift cards, a lot of different stuff you can qualify for based on your production. So great way to get your 2024 started out with a nice trip, and we'll take care of the cost for you. We have a referral program, refer agents to IMES. We'll go ahead and pay you $50 when they get contracted. You'll also receive a 20 basis point override on their index premium, a 10 basis point override on their MYGA business. Really a great way for you to build up a nice side line of income streaming in based on your referrals production. And we do see a number of agents that give me a call every quarter trying to figure out when those referral checks are going out, and a great way for you to enhance your income on a quarterly basis. So definitely a good option on that side. We also do our market reimbursement, reimburse $200 for every $100,000 of single premium life, $100 for every $100,000 of indexed annuity premium. I know we have a lot of agents that do some nice advertising. We help pay for those costs based on these marketing reimbursements we do. And a lot of agents are doing seminars right now, and we help pay for a big chunk of those costs. So definitely worth your while to take advantage of that program. We have a great back office support team. We have a number of people in the new business department that help you get those cases through the start to finish. They get your case in, we review it, make sure everything's taken care of. It gets forwarded to the home office, and then we go ahead and follow up from there and make sure it gets through the issuing process. Companies, unfortunately, are taking longer right now to send out transfer dollars, so definitely a challenge in getting some of those money sent in. So they do help with that also. So a great assistance on their end to help you get paid as soon as you possibly can. We also have a great creative team. It can help you out with website development. I know we have a great website here through IMES. I was talking to Tim a little bit earlier. We do have Annuity Rate Watch on our website. You can look up the latest interest rates on MYGAs. You can have a 90-year-old in the state of California looking at a 3-year rate guarantee. You can look up the best rates based on that scenario. You can also do income payouts. If you want to take a look who has the best income based on client situation, maybe they want to put in $100,000, they're age 70, want to take payments in 2 years, it's going to show you the highest payouts based on that situation. So really good system we have available there on the IMES website. We also have our latest interest rates grid. We have a nice annuity grids. We have different sales calculators. You can do long-term care quotes. You can do life insurance quotes. A lot of good stuff you can utilize there on that IMES website. So do keep that in mind. We've seen a huge increase this year in the amount of people using e-app systems, including Firelight. I know that EquiTrust has been running a really nice special. They'll be reviewing that here in the next couple minutes. Based on using e-apps here through the end of the year, you can earn a nice cash bonus, a great way to enhance your income. It also makes the underwriting process a lot quicker, less interpreting handwriting, more getting things through in a quicker manner. So definitely a solid system there through Firelight. I know once you've used it once or twice, you'll never want to go back to doing handwritten applications. So very easy to use. First time it takes a little bit longer, but once you start using it, definitely a very speedy process based on that. Most of our carriers do use Firelight, including EquiTrust. So great opportunity to maximize your usage of those e-app programs. So creative-wise, we have a great creative team. We have 5 members in that team right now. They can help you out with advertising. Maybe you want to do some email blasts. Maybe you want to do a social media advertising. Maybe redo your business logo, redo your company name. They can help you out that entire process and help you have the best look for the 2020s. I know a lot of people developed a website 20 years ago, haven't really done a lot to it in the last 20 years. They will definitely help you upgrade that system and maximize the viewage on your website and make it as easy as possible for those guests to get what they need out of that website. So definitely contact your creative team once you are up and running with IMES. A lot of the services are free once you start doing business, and definitely a great feature here through the corporation. So we have a wealth management side of our company. We have a great team on that side. I know we've seen a nice increase in assets under management the last couple of years. I just launched a quick poll. If you'd like to get additional information on the wealth management side of IMES, we'll go ahead and have Duncan give you a call. He's been in the security side of the business for a number of years. It really pays off having both sides of the business covered for the insurance side and also the security side. We've seen a huge increase in our top 30 agents on production. Most of them are securities licensed at this point, and that was really much different 3-4 years ago. Didn't have near the number of people licensed up on the security side, but that has definitely changed. So if you'd like to get some additional information on that end, mark off yes. I'll go ahead and leave this poll open for another 15-20 seconds. But they've got a great platform of investments clients can utilize, some great information they can get out of that system. So definitely keep that in mind. And if that's something of some interest, and just mark off yes. We'll be glad to have one of those specialists give you a call. I'll go and get that closed up here. We'll get moving along. We continue to offer our different trips. We have an 18-month qualification for the Seaside Sanctuary in Kiawah Island, a beautiful location there in South Carolina. That qualification actually ends in December in about 2 weeks. I know we're probably going to have around 65 qualifiers that meets that $4.5 million or needed number of points to qualify. And that should be a great trip coming up in April the 14th through the 18th. Great chance to meet some of the other top producers. We have a number of agents that have qualified for all of our trips over the last 15-20 years. And this really is a really strong way to build up some nice relationships with fellow agents. And it's great to meet our staff and meet some of the home office personnel that go along also. So a great chance to get out and enjoy yourselves in April. So that qualification does end in December. We'll announce another 18-month qualification will start at January 1st. We have not finalized those plans yet, but we should have something sometime in the middle of to late January on that side. So definitely keep that in mind. You can also follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. We have great presence on both sides and great information that you can pick up on different activities we have going throughout the year. Different things we have, special contests we do on Facebook. and then LinkedIn also. Some great stuff that we have available there on that side. I'm going to launch another quick poll here before we get started on the EquiTrust side. We also do some life and annuity academies. Do those about once a quarter. We bring you into either a home office here in Omaha, or we do typically bring people into Des Moines. Great chance to pick up some great sales ideas and some great information you can use in the field. We bring in some of our top agents who go over some great information they use in getting in front of new clients, closing more sales. They'll do a roundtable event, and you can ask them questions. They'll bounce information back and forth, and it's just a great time to pick up some great information you can use when you go back to your hometown. And we bring in between 35 to 40 people to these events. All your food's taken care of, your lodging, transportation has been paid for in the past, and it should be a great opportunity for you to get out there and meet some really high-end producers, pick up some good ideas, spend 2.5 days with us here in Omaha or Des Moines, and a great chance for you to pick up some good details. So if you do interest in that, I would mark off yes on this little poll I just sent out there, and we'll go ahead and get you on the list of interested parties. We should all have some dates on our upcoming events. Probably in January or February, we'll announce those dates. Usually we do the first one sometime in April when it gets a little better weather-wise, and we'll do another one, like say in June, and then at least one in the fall. So good chance to keep going on that end. But if you have interest, I'll leave us another 10 seconds. I'd be glad to have you on board for that, and we'll go ahead and keep things going there. We'll get that closed up. But once again, we are very glad to have Tim and Rob join us here this morning. A couple of very good internal wholesalers we have from EquiTrust. I know they do a fantastic job answering people's questions, getting things taken care of on that end. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer the controls to you, Tim, so you can pull up your computer there. I do have it on my end now. You are on my screen, so you should be good to go, Tim. Welcome aboard here this morning. Good to have you and Rob on with us today. We got some great information we'll be covering.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Is the right screen showing though? That's always the number one question on these. I sometimes have no idea. Is the full PowerPoint slide up and running?
We also got the right-hand screen also. So you got the one on the left and the right.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's a challenge. There you go.
How about now?
Look
at that.
You're golden. Yep.
Look at that. You know, it's always one of those challenges with webinars, but I'm glad we're on the right foot now. So appreciate the time, appreciate having us here today. Rob and I are super excited to go over this. Something new here we're going to try today is try to bring kind of a conversational approach here to a webinar. I know personally sometimes talking to myself for 20-30 minutes gets a little old. So I'm going to bring Rob on here as well. He's also part of the team, internal wholesaler here, covering other IMOs, but we work together and we hear a lot of the same things, and we're trying to bring a kind of conversation of, you know, the year review of 2023 and what's new. So we're excited here today to bring this kind of conversation approach. We are going to do a couple things, kind of focus on EquiTrust and the exciting things we have here, kind of end 2023 going into 2024, and then just kind of a recap towards the end of maybe what to expect and or what we saw in 2023 going into 2024. So we're super excited to be here. Appreciate the time here, Matt, and if I forget to say this, everyone have a happy new year. So let's get this rolling here, and I'm going to start off with some of our promotions that we are running here at EquiTrust and go through our kind of bonuses, comp specials going into 2024. First of all, we do have very competitive fixed index annuities across the board with Market Power, Market Force, Market 10. We're going to dive into this Market 10 product here, but we're offering an additional 2% premium bonus on all applications received now through the end of January 2024. That was a recent announcement. So between now and the end of January 2024, you can offer your clients an additional 2% premium bonus on 3 very popular products with the Market Power, Market Force, and Market 10. And we didn't forget about you, the agent. You are also going to be earning an additional 1% commission through the end of January on some of our most competitive fixed index annuity products. Those are highlighted down below. There's no threshold, no hurdles, no waiting period. This gets paid out as true comp. So you're getting this as the policy is getting issued on these competitive fixed index annuities below. Also, this one is coming to an end rather quickly, but we are offering electronic application bonus. So $500 per case, up to 5 on all e-apps received through the end of the year. That includes MIGA business. We are very competitive when it comes to our Certainty Select product. So if you have any cases between now and the end of the year, maybe some small MIGAs, more than welcome to look our way. And if you do it through Firelight, you will be receiving an additional $500 in bonus. And I did hear something about Ritz-Carlton by Mr. Matt here. We are running a incentive trip in 2025. Qualification period is November 1st through the 31st. Qualifying business must be issued November 15th. All the same things and same reasons why IAMS does stuff like this, right? Ability to hear from some of our senior leaders, ability to see faces, meet new individuals, hosted by EquiTrust, and this is in Turks and Caicos, February 4th through the 9th, 2025. Top 40 producers are going to be receiving an invitation. As far as kind of requirements and how that goes, I would think probably in the range of the 10 million-ish is kind of what I would expect as far as invitations. And last but not least, we're going to focus on Bridge just a touch. Still have a little products and a little bit of EquiTrust here as we kind of go over this year in review and what's new. We are having an additional 1% comp special on Bridge as well, and that's our fixed index annuity hybrid product. So, you know, what is Bridge and why are we so excited when we hear about Bridge? And Bridge is it's a fixed index annuity, long-term care hybrid type product. It brings true long-term care to your practice. And, if I was a betting man, which I sometimes am, I would expect to have at least one of your clients have a long-term care event in sometime in 2024. And are you prepared for those types of events, right? I hear time after time individuals calling in late in the game, right? A 65 to 75-year-old that's having a long-term care event or planning to have a long-term care event in the near future, and they didn't plan for it, right? We didn't set the puzzle in place. We didn't put the pieces of the puzzle in place prior to this event taking place. And Rob, I'm going to kick this over to you and just kind of ask a standard question. Where to start? What are some of the questions maybe some of your first-time Bridge writers are coming to you with? I know sometimes with the Bridge, it's a conversation individuals aren't used to having, right? So what are some of those kind of bullet points maybe someone in the audience here is thinking of right now when it comes to long-term care?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Tim. Being newer here to EquiTrust and just seeing how unique this product is in the fixed index annuity space with true indemnity-based long-term care features inside of it. The big part about it is if you're used to writing fixed index annuities, a lot of us enjoy that there's no underwriting involved in that process. So when we start hearing about underwriting, kind of puts us on edge. My clients might get declined. The beautiful thing about Bridge is it's guarantee approval. You do go through video underwriting, but every one of your clients that you will sit down for that will be approved in some, shape or form. Again, it's indemnity-based benefits. So a lot of us, I think, are offering fixed index annuities with a 2 a 6 ADL income rider. This is structured a little bit differently and has better options for that true long-term care benefit for your clients. The biggest thing that I'm seeing is producers that have written annuities over the last 10, 15 years might be struggling on some renewal rates at this point on that non-qualified money. You can help your clients in multiple ways. If they've got earnings inside of those contracts, if they transfer it to Bridge, it is a PPA approved product. So if they do qualify for a long-term care event, those are tax-free distributions. We run those over 60 payments or over 5 years. So you can help your clients in that way. Plus, Bridge is a extremely competitive fixed indexed annuity on its own with the rates we've been seeing this year, and we'll talk kind of on why that is here in a minute, but we're seeing excellent rates inside of just the basic fixed indexed annuity part of the Bridge product, and then they also have that long-term care coverage on it. But EquiTrust has it all built on one microsite, so you can watch the videos to learn about how the process works. You can get your marketing materials, you can run your illustrations, you can do your e-app, you can schedule your underwriting, all on one spot. We've had producers that have been able to do all of that in under an hour and have an app submitted. So that's really what I've seen here on the beginning with the Bridge product. If you have questions on it, again, reach out to me or Tim. We'll be happy to kind of walk you through the process, because again, it's something that most people don't have, that they're going to experience at some point in their life.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rob. And I think a consistent question I asked a lot of folks over my years is, what are you doing for long-term care planning? And usually a lot of people just kind of respond with the basic, I'm utilizing fixed index annuities to cover long-term care type events. And I think a lot of times, they're not diving in, right? They're staying in the shallow end with using or utilizing income-based riders with a 2-6 ADL trigger, and they're not really getting past that shallow portion. They're not diving farther into this type of product, right? They're saying they're covering long-term care with utilizing these income type based benefits with the doubler. They're not going that next step, and that next step would be the Bridge type product. It's an amazing product. I can't talk enough about it when I'm talking to individuals out in the field. And if you haven't heard about Bridge, if you haven't had a 15-20 minute conversation about the Bridge, I urge you to give us a call and we can go over this. It's not approved in all 50 states as of right now, but it is covered, I think it's 43 plus states, and it's a very competitive product. I urge you to find some more information on it. Here's some of those additional highlights. It's on an FIA chassis, right? So it's going to be a familiar type product for you. It's not just tons of different bells and whistles. It's an FIA chassis, down to the nitty gritty of it. Flexible premiums as far as the product goes. It's simplified underwriting with guaranteed approval. If you're sweating, if a client has XYZ health issue and we're worried about underwriting, it's a fog the mirror type approach. And I'll pass this question over to Rob, and I know you know the answer to this. How many times do people call you with health situations, and what's our response, right? As far as a first-time Bridge writer, how many times are they calling you with all these different health questions, worried about the underwriting process, and what's the experience, with the actual underwriting?
Yeah, basically a lot of times to start out, it's, I tried to get my client long-term care and they got declined. So how is Bridge different? And the underwriting process is different, right? You got 4 or 5 questions, and then they go through the video underwriting process. But with the guarantee approval, you're going to have some type of solution for your clients. So if that's where we start, where we can help you is maybe you did offer long-term care, they got declined, or if you're in a spot where you've never went down that long-term care path, but want to find out more, Bridge is a great solution because it does have the familiarity of a FIA chassis that it sits on.
Awesome. Well, I think everyone's kind of gotten the highlights of the Bridge. It's worth a conversation. Make sure to either call IAMS or ourselves, and we can get you going on the Bridge. Hopefully a focus of 2024. Another hot topic towards this time of the year, obviously like IRA type contribution products with our Market 10 bonus annuity, which through the end of January is an 8% bonus. We do have a minimum premium option of $5,000. So if you're looking for an IRA Roth contribution, what an amazing product. And you also get that 8% bonus for the first 5 years as far as the product feature. I pulled this from a different slide. So imagine 8% here instead of 6 through the end of January. So amazing option. I know from working at multiple carriers, you know, the amount of tickets we receive between now and end of tax season with just some small contributions or IRA starters is tremendous, and this is an amazing product for those clients to get started in.
And you guys go down to $5,000 on those deposits, right?
Correct, yeah. $5,000.
Yep.
And so here's just kind of a I mean, it's a truckload of information, right? Truckload of information, but we're going to break this down here real quick for you. Obviously, a fixed index annuity, it has a guaranteed income structure that you can apply inside of the product. You get the premium bonus, amazing opportunity with the flexible premium and the additional bonuses for the first 5 years, and a great way to consolidate assets. And then obviously a way to set up for an IRA or a Roth for your client's future. So amazing product. Has lots of different bells and whistles inside of it, including a return to premium option in there as well. And then I can't do an EquiTrust webinar highlighting some of our products without talking about the Certainty Select right now. We're going to dive in here shortly with MYGAs and kind of where we expect it to see or go. We have a very competitive Certainty Select product here. It is our MYGA. I think of this as a very old school MYGA. It doesn't have the buffet style of options available as far as different options. What you see is what you get. And what we have here is some of our major highlights. And I will say one of the biggest highlights here is the penalty-free withdrawals of cumulative interest at any time. You know, what an amazing opportunity to build with really good rates as far as a penalty-free withdrawal distribution of cumulative interest. You know, a lot of MYGAs out there are 10% or interest only, right? Those are your kind of two options that you see highlighted most frequently. This is true penalty-free options of cumulative interest at any time. So you can start cumulative interest or interest withdrawals after 30 days. If you're in a 5-year product, right, and we get to year 4, you can withdraw interest through those first 4 years of interest earned. So amazing opportunity as far as the MYGA. Think of it kind of old school as far as the MYGA goes. So here's kind of our transition into maybe why you joined the webinar here today. Rob and I are just kind of going to have a basic conversation of, you know, what we saw in the marketplace this year, what to expect in years or months to follow, and just kind of how the interest rate environment has, you know, really set the path of 2023 into 2024. And there's a couple items that we have to show, right? We have to show what the 10-year did in 2023. And here I just pulled a slide. I just searched, Google search 10-year Treasury. I have highlighted here one of the tops that we saw. So October 18th, 2023 was kind of the high point as far as interest rates go. As far as the 10-year Treasury, and that was 4.9, right? And today we're sitting at 3.9. So we have seen I would call this a rather drastic decline of a 10-year Treasury here towards the end of the year, and it was kind of expected. The Fed's announced, you know, for 2024 what they're planning on doing, which is I think 4 declines as far as interest rates go. If I read the notes properly or listened to my recap properly, right, Rob?
Yep.
And you know what did you see in 2023 as far as the 10-year Treasury? And let's just compare it to MYGA rates, right? You know, your time with EquiTrust, what do you see? What do you see with competitors? You know, even just looking at this graph, I think tells a huge story of what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of bullet pointed out later on. EquiTrust came out early and just threw up a rate and let it sit, but it was definitely the year of one-upping each other. I know if you guys got access to Annuity Rate Watch, it was like, all right, who's going to jump into the mix this month? And so a lot of kind of the year of one-upping on rates. But yeah, like Tim has highlighted here, it's not a direct correlation to rates with the 10-year, but it's a pretty darn good indicator of what you're going to see going forward. So yeah, it's just been a phenomenal spot for index annuities, fixed annuities with rates going up as much as they have over the past, 12, 18 months.
Yeah, definitely. And the next slide here is going to be looking at the VIX. This is probably a lesser known index or a lesser known kind of indicator. Over my years focusing on fixed index annuities, this is one of the most important indexes I follow, and its volatility of the marketplace. And it shows so much with such little data here that, when I look at the VIX, I am looking at drastic changes over a long period of time. So if I'm looking at this, looking from March of 23 to July of 2023, right, we saw a drastic decline in volatility. And it was kind of a slow goer, right? When I think of volatility and short spikes, I think of us back at the home office trying to make changes, right? And
Yep.
if we just see a short period of volatility, right? So just like think of like a month, right? Are we going to impact or change rates based off of a month of volatility? The answer is usually no, right? If we see a short-term spike, it's when we see these long-term durations of kind of changes, or a decrease or increase is when we start seeing changes. So what does VIX tell me? VIX tells me that option costs have gotten extremely less volatile, right? So we're not expecting to see 2% changes in the market each and every single day, right? We're not expecting to see these massive changes. So the VIX would tell me that monthly point-to-point caps are going to get extremely expensive because the market is saying there's not going to be these major changes. It's also going to tell me that participation rates are going to become extremely expensive due to low volatility. So when you look at VIX, those are some of my key indicators. Rob, do you have anything else to point when you look at a VIX?
Yeah, the VIX runs, it's not because the market's going up or it's going down, it's the market change, whether it's positive or negative, how drastic that is, that's what runs the VIX up, is that market change. And so, yeah, it seems like it's become pretty manageable here in the last, 2 quarters. They even downgraded the monetary supply at the beginning of August, and we saw the market fall because of that. But it wasn't really a huge spike in the VIX even after that took place. So, yeah, I think like you alluded to earlier, with interest rates starting to fall, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the VIX and the market moving forward.
Definitely. And I think the other thing to point out here, I didn't pull this out to the 5 years or max. We're more or less kind of prone to this kind of teens-ish area as far as volatility in the marketplace. 2020 through 2022 was kind of an outlier as far as where the VIX was performing at. Is just as far as I think last year there was over like 60 days in the S&P 500 that had a 2% spike or a 1% spike. I forget what the measure was there. Just as far as what's happened in past history, we never really experienced that. So this is more of a traditional area as far as the VIX goes. Kind of, it might actually be a little bit lower than what we're seeing historically average. So look at this. This is something I would keep on your ticker symbol on your iPhone or something like that. If you ever see a bunch of rate changes happening, you can always look at the VIX, and that's an indicator as far as maybe why those rates have been changing.
Yep.
And so kind of some bullet points as far as industry updates. We kind of covered with the 10-year as far as peaking interest rates. And, I've focused on fixed index annuities now going on 12 years in my career here, and I've never seen a year like 2023. Maybe there are some outliers here and there as far as different product features, right, coming out, income type benefit riders, kind of the race to number one. But it was kind of a different year, and I say that with the full intentions of making or having everyone understand that I wouldn't expect 2024 to be like 2023. And 2023 we have bulletin point 2 of year of one upping, and everyone has access to Annuity Rate Watch, right? And I'm not going to lie, it seemed like I could refresh Annuity Rate Watch every 5 to 10 minutes and still miss an update. There was that many memos going out. There was that many changes. We were a part of that group, right? Towards the end of the year, as far as making all these announcements with special commissions, special bonuses, right? It happened all throughout the year, with many different carriers, right? So it was the year of one upping is what Rob and I kind of called it. And it's great for production, it's great for business. I just don't expect it in 2024 as far as my seat goes. That's coming from an internal wholesaler. Volatility, I think where volatility started and where it is today was perfect for business, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect for pricing. It was perfect for product development. As you saw, new entrances across the board, whether it was MIGAs or FIAs. And one of the last couple bulletin points here I want to focus on is this income plus FIAs and MIGAs, right? That's kind of the industry we play in. And when I say income plus FIA, I think what everyone out in the field needs to realize is the competitiveness of that arena of income rider payouts. The year of one upping, I think, will continue going into 2024. The difference between first, second, and third place, I think, will shrink, right? I think we'll start seeing, if we run a quote, it's going to start being dollars. It's going to start being hundreds of dollars rather than this gap of $1,000 for an annual payment. So keep an eye out for that. I think the competitiveness of the income space is going to continue, and I think there'll be plenty of entrances in that kind of space going forwards. The FIA chassis, I think across the board, 5, 7, 10-year type products are going to become more and more competitive. I think you're going to see more individuals getting into this kind of shorter term space with where rates are. And then MIGAs, I think the biggest question, and I think we kind of alluded to it earlier, is will the MIGA stay hot? Personally, I think the MIGA is going to cool off drastically, but there's going to be competitive products out there available for folks. So there's going to be the kind of one-off month specials, right? Someone's going to have their belly empty and they're going to fill it really, really quick, and then they're going to cool off. Rob, do you have any kind of comments on those?
Yeah, I think you'll look for 2024, like you're saying, the competitiveness of the FIA as a portion of somebody's retirement is still going to remain a key component for everybody out, in that retirement age. I think you're right. Like, we're going to probably see MIGA rates come down a little bit, but I think that competitiveness of what clients need for retirement, the FIA is still going to fill that space better than their other product options out there. The other thing is the one-upping might slow down a little bit, so try and find a carrier that's going to consistently be competitive for you in either income or that FIA. I know we're making some changes here to our EAP system to make it easier and more intuitive to help you with that business. I know we're offering incentives for you to use it, and IMS has their instances of Firelight as well, but using those systems to help you consistently write business and being a consistent leader in FIA's income and MIGAs, hopefully we find that landing spot in your business for you to consistently be there as a true carrier for you.
It's awesome. And one of these last bulletin points, replacements. I get questions every single day. Can we replace this? right? And it seems like there's only one or two factors that come into place when it comes to replacements. Either we have an income rider, we don't need it anymore, we don't have an income rider and we need it now. That's kind of a common question is, will we accept a replacement? I think going forward, I think there's going to have to be a massive conversation around why are we replacing this? And I think, Rob and I debated on whether or not we should say Secure Act in here somewhere. So I think going forward, we're going to have to be a little more careful with replacements and kind of the story behind it, right? Not just here's the pure data, here's the black and white data, but what's step two of the product features and why are we doing this? 2023 was a great time to do replacements due to the interest rates. Maybe we had a fixed index annuity from 18, 19, 20, and we needed to do something else for the client as far as repositioning. I think you'll be able to still, have replacements, reposition clients and assets as you always have, but I think it might cool down just a hair as far as that goes. So be careful on that. As far as replacements go, have the conversation with your clients. Why are we doing this? How are we doing this? And I would just say gather as much data as possible, and maybe just think a little bit more than, hey, here's a bonus that's gonna offset surrender charges. So just be careful on some of that type of information. And all of these things led up to a winning year here in 2023. Obviously, I think it was the highest year for FIA and MYGA sales across the board. So just kind of covering some of this information that we've gone over here today. First of all, I appreciate everyone's time here today. I know maybe we ran a little bit longer than we're supposed to. I apologize for that. But some of our highlights, obviously with the premium bonus special, everything going on great here with EquiTrust, including a commission special. Want to pause on that one again. Once again, a commission special going, right? Hallelujah. Here's a commission special. Amazing MYGA rates across the board. A very, very unique time for those clients as far as looking at fixed assets. I think it's a unique opportunity for everyone out in the field. If you haven't had a conversation with your clients regarding MYGAs, you need to, whether it's a small mailer out maybe towards the end of this year or beginning of next year. I think it's a perfect time to get them in the door. And then, don't forget about the bridge. Like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't had a conversation with someone at EquiTrust and or IMS regarding the bridge, it's a piece of the retirement that if unforgotten about, can cause drastic issues for planning for heirs for those individuals going forward. So if you haven't taken a look at the bridge, I urge you to do so. As far as some of the highlights here today, once again, just recapping EquiTrust here. And I would say, from my seat and Rob's seats, thank you for spending some time here with us today. We can do some more of these kind of industry updates and what we're seeing and what we're hearing and kind of conversations. Expect 2024 to be just as competitive as it was in 2023. I think you'll see EquiTrust as being a competitive FIA and MYGA producers for you and your clients going forward. And I think the key word there is competitive across the board. And I hope you are seeing that with our products today and going forward. So I'm going to turn this back over to Matt. Matt, I don't know if there's any questions out there or not. I kind of got distracted.
Yeah, a couple of quick questions came up on my end. So I know we've seen a number of other carriers reducing rates right now. Do you expect EquiTrust to hold the rates maybe through the end of the year, then maybe look at some rate adjustments in January? Is that kind of what you guys are thinking?
Yeah, so fortunately we're not involved in product pricing, right?
Right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm not in those meetings. Rob's not in those meetings. I don't want to be in those meetings. But I would think from now until kind of that January period, right? What do we have? 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left. I don't expect to see any change.
Right.
I don't expect to see a change in 2023 as far as interest rates go. That's from my seat. Once again, I'm not a part of the product pricing crew. Rob, have you kind of along the same path as me there?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to run out through the end of the year, and I know we're also looking at being extremely competitive and aggressive next year. So, I mean, with the incentives we have running on, I don't see much movement there or heard anything on that landscape.
Yeah, and another question came up on the market 10. So you guys pay this same bonus on all new deposits for 5 years. So right now the bonus is 8%. So the client's going to earn an 8% bonus on any additional deposits during the first 5 years they have that contract. So get away for them to make some nice money right out of the gate. Plus, does that have a 4.25 fixed rate right now, Tim, on the market 10?
It's 4.5.
Yeah, I
4.5.
think we looked at that earlier today here.
Yeah, it's
So
4.5 now.
Okay,
Yep.
so
4.5 now. And the other big thing about that bonus is it doesn't roll the surrender charges. So, you know, you start the contract today, you put money in after 5 years, you still only have 5 years until the surrender charges expire. That's another big point to that, how that
yeah,
product works.
it's a huge benefit. And the fact you can put your money in the fixed account the first year and you can make the 8% bonus plus the 4.5% fixed rates, you're going to make, 12.25 or 12.5% return guaranteed on those dollars that you put in initially. That's a huge bump in your investment value. So good deal there. And then you guys also do Roth conversions, I know. Have you been seeing some of that business coming in lately? Is that something you've been seeing the last half of the year?
Yeah, great question there with Roth conversions. I think it's something that we continue to promote. I don't know if it's translated into a ton of internal Roth conversions at the moment. We don't have just kind of huge data on there, but the amount of conversations we're having continues to increase as we're telling the story. We actually have an indicator as far as types of phone calls that the sales desk is receiving. That's a consistent
Right.
winner each week as far as partial tax conversions. So we can do those Roth conversions, and we can also do on inherited funds conversions as far as from the inherited IRA over to a non-qualified asset. So is the story being told? Yes. Are agents asking questions? Yes. Historically, I would say, how many are actually taking place? I would say it's a lot lower than what we're receiving phone calls on, but it's being talked about. I think it's a huge conversation that you can be having with your clients to separate yourself from the other agent down the street is bringing that conversation into your practice.
And you have an easy form to utilize for that, correct? You guys have an easy form to fill out and send in?
We do, yeah. It's a one-page form, and you can do those once a year, or you can do them over a systematic period. One of the outliers we have compared to most of our competition is it mirrors the original policy, so you don't extend surrender charge periods, right? And you can do a large chunk and still withhold taxes, so you can actually withhold more taxes than penalty free and not have a surrender charge applied to it. So if you want to do a full Roth conversion, we make it very, very friendly for you and your client.
That sounds great. So appreciate you guys' time this morning. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. I know EquiTrust has been a huge player for us this year. We've seen their business grow about 35% here through IMES, and we finished way above our goal for EquiTrust this year. I mean, a lot has to do with the interest rate environment we're in right now, and we're hoping to see, still be in the, low fives, high fours through the entire year on rate guarantee rates. And we're hoping to see some of those index annuities also stay up in there, that 8% cap range, and also the some of these rates they have on the fixed side on these contracts are going to be very competitive compared to what people have in force right now. So appreciate your guys' time, Tim, Rob, everyone else. Have a great New Year. Happy Merry Christmas out there to everyone next week, and we look forward to a very strong finish to 2023 and a very good year in 2024. So, any guys want to finish up with here this morning?
No, appreciate the time. Everyone have a safe holiday. You said it first, so Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year, and
Got it.
Looking forward to seeing some new names on my list for agents to call out, hopefully.
Sounds great. Otherwise, everyone have a great week, and we look forward to a very strong 2024. Bye now.